Today we're making my version of a hamburger helper, except instead of a normal hamburger helper, we're doing it with sun-dried tomatoes. Sound good? Yeah, I know it does. It does sound good, actually. His name is Lefty, I believe. Okay, so what is Hamburger Helper? Hamburger Helper was something that came about in the 1970s as a way to help people at home who were cooking for themselves stretch 1 pound of beef into a meal for 4. So it's really simple. We're gonna use a bunch of shallots. We're gonna use a whole jar of sun-dried tomato and just kind of whiz that up into a paste. And some garlic, oregano, and shell pasta. Let's start by just slicing and dicing up some shallots. See how much I cry for this. I'm already starting to cry from these. Actually, I think the reason why I love stuff like Hamburger Helper or Kraft mac and cheese or SpaghettiOs and Chef Boyardee is because my mom never bought that crap growing up, and I really wish that she did. We've cut up some shallots here. They're looking lovely. And I'm gonna do a few cloves of garlic as well. Thinly slice, thinly slice. Isn't it nice to thinly slice? Now, like I said, Hamburger Helper was first introduced to Americans in the 70s. The cost of meat was rising, and this was a really good way for the home cook to stretch a pound of meat. So we're doing a pound of meat, but we're using ground beef as well as Italian sausage, sweet Italian sausage. We're also doing sun-dried tomatoes. Everyone's favorite if you were around in the 90s. Sun-dried tomatoes were really a way for people to preserve the flavor of tomatoes year-round. Drying them in the sun, waiting until they got all nice and wrinkly and shriveled like this, packed full of flavor. So good. So what we're gonna do is we're not gonna drain these, we're not gonna do anything. All we're gonna do is throw these into a little food processor and blend them. And we're gonna use all that oil, all that tomato. It's gonna go right into the pasta and be delicious. All right, sun-dried tomatoes on in. How good is that? Everything is gonna happen right over here. Couldn't be easier. I'm going to turn on my stove, medium high, add some olive oil. I didn't know that in 2013 or 15, Hamburger Helper changed its name to just Helper. Not Hamburger, because I guess they have all the different like flavors and stuff. Just Helper now. It's just a little helper. I wonder if that's why the little cute little hand, it's like lend a helping hand. Do you think that's what it is? I think I did just crack old Lefty. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, so I was right. I just Googled this. It was 2013 that the company changed its name to just Helper, and Lefty is the name of that cute little hand that I have a necklace of, and he was supposed to be a helping hand. I just put it together. That's clever. I think that's cute. Our oil is hot. We're going to add our ground beef. So we're doing equal parts ground beef and sweet Italian sausage. Just gonna cook it, breaking up the pieces with my rusty spoon here. You know this is my favorite spoon. The meat is nicely browned. We are now going to add our shallots. We're gonna cook the shallots now until they're nice and soft. I remember the jingle from the Hamburger Helper commercials, and it was like, I love a jingle, first of all. I wish that there were more jingles. The Hamburger Helper one was, Hamburger Helper helped her make a great meal, or something like that. I just love it. We're gonna add in our garlic. I'm gonna add in a little bit of chili flakes, just like a little pinch-a-roo. I'm also gonna add a little bit of dried oregano. But I'm also gonna finish it with some fresh oregano. There's a lot of oregano in here. You know, oregano is definitely one of those underutilized herbs, I think. Getting really nice color on there, you can see. Next up, we're gonna add in our tomato paste and our sun-dried tomato paste. So this is my homemade tomato paste. We're gonna add that in there. 3 tablespoons of homemade tomato paste. Store-bought is fine though. And then we're gonna add all of our pureed sun-dried tomatoes right in here. We're gonna stir this and just caramelize the tomato paste and the sun-dried tomatoes a little bit. Damn, that looks good, right? See it kind of like snapping, crackling, popping in there. It looks really good. Our tomato pastes are nice and caramelized. We can add in our beef stock. You could also just use water if you wanted to, or chicken stock, vegetable stock. I'm using beef stock since we're doing like a beefy dish, you know? We're gonna stir this up, get all that fond off the bottom, you know? And then we're gonna add a cup of cream as well. We're gonna give this a stir and bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna add our pasta in. We're gonna add a teaspoon of salt into this also, just because, you know, we haven't really seasoned this at all yet. And I want the pasta to cook. It's gonna absorb all that good tomato flavor and that beefy flavor, but I also want it to have some like taste to it. So we're gonna add some salt. That tastes amazing already. I would like eat that as soup. Okay, this has come to a nice little boil. I'm gonna add in the pasta and then cover it, and we're gonna let it cook. It's gonna cook for about 15 minutes until most of the liquid has been absorbed and the pasta is like nice and al dente. Easy. Mix it in there. This makes me really happy. Lid. We're gonna turn this down to medium low and let it cook. That's it. Look at that. Dinner is gonna be ready in like 15 minutes. Wow. I'm gonna clean up all my dishes now while this cooks. The pasta is almost done. I've been stirring it. I'm gonna stir it again right now because this shit needs to get stirred. Okay, it's got just a couple minutes left. I'm going to stir in some fresh oregano when it's all done. I'm also gonna season it with fresh oregano and Parmesan cheese. Oh. Oregano, oregano, oregano. It smells so good. Honestly, what an underutilized herb. We gotta start using oregano more. Roughly chopped fresh oregano, keeping some of the tops to garnish with. My pasta is done. This looks fantastico. We're gonna add all this beautiful fresh oregano in there. Fresh oregano just takes it to another level. It's so good. Sun-dried tomatoes, man. What a hero. You know what? Bring back sun-dried tomatoes. Bring back oregano. Hamburger helper helped her make a great meal. It's so good. It's so good. It is so good. This is the best.